What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hope everyone is doing well. It is Friday, finally time for Morbius, unless you saw it a little bit earlier on Thursday, or if you were in the UK, they got an early screening and the reviews were brutal. If you check Rotten Tomatoes, the score is what, 20% or something since the last update. I don't know how it is right now, but it is really low. And I don't mean to add on to the whole brutality of the reviews, but I gotta be honest with you. It is it is probably gonna be one of the most disappointing movies of 2022. I was actually really excited to see Morbius because I just wanted to see how it connects to the whole MCU, what the Sony's trying to do with Marvel, but it looks like this movie's just a cheap and just quick excuse to throw in all these characters because there's just nothing that pushes this story forward. This movie lacks a lot of development. There is a lot of choppy editing. The editing, it just seems like as if they were just running out of schedule, running out of time. This movie was delayed so many times that it just came to the point that they were like, okay, you know what, we don't have any time, let's just edit and work with what we got, and hopefully it makes sense to the people. The visual effects were terrible. When it comes to Morbius moving around, it just looks like a bunch of smoke going around. The cameras are very shaky. There's a lot of shaky camera movement whenever he's moving around, and also in all the fight scenes you can hardly tell what's going on. I was actually really enjoying the movie from the beginning because it was getting straight to the point. It was getting everything, it was speeding everything up. It wasn't wasting a lot of time trying to do like a huge, very detailed origin story. It got straight to the point. Michael Morbius, he grows up with like this deficiency. He's handicapped and all that. He's crippled, so he's trying to find a cure for himself and his friend as well that he grows up with in like this orphanage. And like many other dumb scientists in Marvel, he tries it on himself, the cure that he tries to develop with using bats, of course, but that obviously goes wrong. And speaking of bats, I swear there were a couple moments in this movie where I thought I was hearing the Dark Knight theme from Christopher Nolan, especially when all these bats are showing up and when he's working with the bats, when he's just like standing in the middle of them and the bats are just going around really fast. You know, that same exact moment, like how in Batman Begins when Bruce Wayne steps into the cave and he's just standing there as the bats go around. I swear it is the exact same thing, and you could hear the Batman theme. But anyway, the movie starts out really well, but then after he starts transforming into Morbius, the story starts to slow down. It feels very slow. The story goes nowhere. I don't see what's the point of Morbius trying to be this whole anti-villain, anti-hero, whatever they're calling it nowadays. There's a lot of plot holes in this movie. There are characters that don't even make sense, that don't even need to be in this movie, and I think the big obvious ones would be Tyrese Gibson and this other dude, his partner, that they play these two detectives. All they do is show up at the crime scene when it's already done, and they just keep going about their day. There's really no need for them, no use for them in this movie. All they had them do is show up at crime scenes, and it's not like it's an obvious thing that normal human beings would think of whenever they see dead humans with losing a lot of blood. Like this one character says, oh, they're dead, they lost a lot of blood, and it happened that night. So that must mean that it was a vampire, because you know vampires suck blood. There's little things like that, little lines of dialogue like that really bug me, because it just tries to make you feel as an audience as really stupid, as if we have to know, we have to hear them say things like that in order for us to understand. Lucian, aka Milo, Morbius' best friend, I understand his character a bit more. It's actually a little bit more developed than Morbius himself. He is actually the villain because he tries the serum on himself and he feels betrayed because Morbius tried to keep him from taking the serum, and he got a little desperate because he's been handicapped all his life. But then when Morbius doesn't want to go and travel the world as his friend wanted, travel the world being vampires, he feels betrayed. It's almost kind of like a love story that goes on because they were so close since childhood. But other than that, that's all that Morbius has going for it. It's just after he becomes Morbius, it just feels like it takes really long. Just random scenes that just happen that are put together. It just felt like I didn't see how Morbius grew as a character, how he decided to continue, why he even decided to continue to be Morbius. There's no development, there's no character arc at all. And then as for the post-credit scene, it's just a cheap way, like I said, to put him together, to connect it towards Spider-Man. It just makes no sense at all. And if you were waiting for the Michael Keaton cameo or for any Spider-Man Easter eggs, they're not in here. I mean, Michael Keaton is in here, but that's again until the post-credit scene. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but I really thought that Morbius had something going on, but it just let me down at the end of the day. So in the end, I will say that Morbius is gonna be a VOD. Alright, so Morbius, if you've seen it or if you're gonna see it, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and like this video, smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be on the lookout for new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep watching this channel and keep watching movies.